A young man, Leo, is walking on the streets of a busy city, holding his camera. He sees various scenes and subjects that catch his eye: a colorful graffiti wall, a street performer, a couple holding hands, a skyscraper, a flower vendor. He tries to capture them with his camera, but he feels unsatisfied with his shots. He feels like they are cliché and boring, like he has seen them 1,000 times before. He feels like he has nothing original or unique to offer as a photographer. Leo goes to a cafe and sits at a table. He takes out his laptop and browses through some online photography magazines and blogs. He sees the works of famous and successful photographers, who have their own distinctive styles and visions. He sees photos that are stunning, creative, expressive, and impactful. He feels envious and inferior, wondering how they achieved such mastery and recognition. He compares his own photos with theirs and feels even more discouraged. Leo closes his laptop and looks around the cafe. He sees other people who seem happy and confident, a group of friends laughing and chatting, a couple kissing and cuddling, a businesswoman making a phone call, a writer typing on his keyboard. He feels lonely and lost, wondering what he is doing with his life. He feels like he has no purpose or direction as a photographer or as a person. Leo gets up from his table and leaves the cafe. He walks aimlessly on the streets, feeling hopeless and depressed. He sees a poster on a wall that advertises a photography contest with a big prize and a chance to be featured in a prestigious magazine. He thinks about entering the contest, but he doubts himself and his abilities. He thinks that he has no chance of winning or being noticed by anyone. Leo walks past the poster and continues walking. He sees a park nearby and decides to go there for some fresh air. He enters the park and sees a different scene from the city: nature, animals, children, families. He feels a sense of calmness and peace, as if he has escaped from his troubles for a moment. He sees a bench under a tree and sits there, resting his camera on his lap. Leo looks around the park and notices something that makes him smile: a little girl playing with her dog near a fountain. The girl is throwing a ball for the dog to fetch, while the dog is jumping and running around happily. The girl is laughing and clapping her hands, while the dog is wagging its tail and barking joyfully. They are having fun together, oblivious to everything else. Leo feels inspired by the scene in front of him. He picks up his camera and starts taking photos of the girl and the dog. He tries different angles, perspectives, compositions, lighting, filters, etc. He experiments with his camera settings and techniques, trying to capture the essence of their bond and joy. He forgets about his worries and doubts, focusing only on his passion and creativity. Leo finishes taking photos of the girl and the dog. He looks at them on his camera screen and feels proud and happy. He feels like he has found his own style and voice as a photographer. He feels like he has something original and unique to offer to the world. Leo gets up from the bench and walks towards the girl and the dog. He introduces himself and asks for their permission to use their photos for the contest. The girl and the dog agree and smile. Leo thanks them and gives them his contact information. He tells them that he will send them copies of the photos and let them know if he wins the contest. The girl and the dog wish him good luck and wave goodbye. Leo waves back and leaves the park, feeling hopeful and optimistic. Leo walks back to the city, holding his camera. He sees the same poster on the wall that advertises the photography contest. He looks at it with confidence and determination. He decides to enter the contest, believing in himself and his abilities. He thinks that he has a chance of winning or being noticed by someone.